everybody, it's Stacy Duffy here, your Denver Metro real estate resource, and I got a comment asking me to do a video on some of the top ROI home improvements, so essentially best bang for your buck home improvements before selling your home. And it's a great video. I can't believe I haven't done one on this. So if you're looking to sell, or maybe you're not going to own a property for a long period of time and you want to make them as much money as possible when you're going to sell, a lot of that's going to depend on who you hire as an agent, what the market conditions are, the time of year that you list, you know, how many homes are available for sale, a lot of different things that you probably can't control. Some you can, but just to kind of go through the top 5, and maybe I'll do a couple bonus ones of really, really high ROI home improvement projects, right? So I'm not talking gutting a kitchen, you know, gutting bathrooms, all that kind of stuff. I'm talking, hey, here's maybe some DIY sweat equity or handyman or small projects you can have done. So I'll jump right into it. Some of these are going to be kind of obvious. I'm going to start with maybe the not so obvious ones. One, light fixtures. So I have had clients that have done very, very basic upgrades to homes, and I think light fixtures can be a huge bang for the buck. So especially if you're selling a 70s home, 80s home, 90s home, more 80s and 90s at this point, something that's not seen as retro or cool or anything like that, but you know, brass and glass and frosted flowers in your light fixtures or things like that. Having updated light fixtures can completely change the style and the feel and the impact of the home, and it can make it feel a lot more updated for a relatively small investment. I've bought light fixtures off of Amazon, guys, for like 75, 80 bucks for something that's, you know, a kitchen chandelier over a kitchen island, or, you know, pendant lights or front entry lights, things like that. You'd be surprised what you can get out of those. And don't feel like you have to spend $300, $400, $500. Hit up your local Habitat for Humanity restore to see what other people have taken out of their house. Like, yeah, maybe they took it out, but if it's in the nice part of town and it's 30 years newer than what you've got, even if it's 5 years old or dated, I mean, come on, it's a huge upgrade. I've replaced 2 giant chandeliers in my rental property for $100. I mean, huge, like 15 light and 7 light fixtures for $100 for both, okay? They're not brand new, but they're a heck of a lot better than what I had. So I think light fixtures are a huge bang for the buck, and it can make a huge impression and a big difference. And if I have time, I'll throw in a couple pictures as we go through the videos. I don't know if I'll actually take the time to edit, but if I do, maybe I'll do that. Either that, or I'll link to some of the listings down below that the sellers have done that, and it looked really, really good. So light fixtures is probably my big one that a lot of people don't think of. 2 is going to be painting. Yeah, that's pretty obvious, right? People talk about painting and doing neutral color and all that kind of stuff. I'm a huge fan of Sherwin-Williams Agreeable Gray. I probably painted 4 houses that color because it goes with oak, it goes with white, it can go warm or cool or a lot of different things. But when it comes to painting, it's not just, hey, paint everything bland, okay? It's, you know, yeah, painting your walls, doing some light fixtures can make a huge improvement even if you don't do other stuff. But with painting, do your drywall repair, okay? So if you've had leaks in the past, or if there was damage or a hole in the wall or something and someone did some DIY patch, janky drywall repair just looks bad, guys. And it is the number one, I think for me, it's probably the number one thing when you go in and you see that in more than one place, and definitely if more than 2 places, it makes people feel like the home wasn't taken care of regardless of the rest of the condition of the home. So people are always worried about plumbing leaks or things they can't see or whatever. Pay the money for some good drywall repair. Now, I have paid a drywall repair person more than I would pay a high-paid attorney. So I've done that once. You don't have to get the most expensive guy, but you do, you know, need to get somebody who knows what they're doing, who's experienced. Ask for references, and do your research there as far as who you hire. But doing some drywall and texture repair prior to painting can make a huge difference on how a finished product looks, okay? Sorry, I'm going off my list so I can stay on track for y'all. Number 3, bang for the buck, cleaning. Just clean, okay? Dirty stuff, whether it's new or old, feels gross. Just clean. Hire a cleaner if you're stressed, if you have kids, whatever. Pay the $500 to have your house deep cleaned, inside the cabinets, inside the appliances. All that stuff is going to be an awesome, awesome ROI, and probably one of the best ones out there, better than paint. 4th, flooring. Okay, and you don't have to go crazy high-end unless you're selling a super, super high-end property. Here in Denver, that's going to be like $1 million plus. I know brand new build homes that people put LVP in. That stuff is amazing, okay? You can do high-end, you can do low-end, but changing your flooring from a 1980s super worn carpet and putting in $3,000 worth of carpet, newer carpet, LVP. I mean, I'm not even a huge fan of tile at this point because LVP is great in so many applications: kitchens, bathrooms, main living areas. Anyone that wants to have dogs loves that stuff. So don't feel like you have to splurge and spend $10,000 or $15,000 on hardwoods or on super high-end tile. LVP is kind of my go-to when it comes to flooring. Carpet in certain areas, stairs for safety in different places, in different houses, depending on how high-end it is. Bedrooms, because some people say they want solid floors everywhere, but once they actually have that house, they realize they want a little bit of carpet. Or depending on the kitchen and bathroom use, if it's really, really high water, if you got kids, that kind of stuff. But I've seen groutable vinyl tiles. Like, I've had a seller do that right over the ceramic. They leveled everything out and they did the groutable ceramic tiles that are octagon, and then they grout them and they look like tile, guys. It's a great DIY project if you want to try to figure it out and do it and learn a little bit there. And you can make a huge impact on that, okay? And then my last one, I think, is probably going to be, I'm going back and forth between a couple, but I'm going to go with hardware. So in hardware, meaning like faucets, meaning showers you don't even really have to mess with too much, but door hardware, faucets, cabinet hardware, things like that. So because just, if there's a whole bunch of brass, a few $100 in hardware can make a huge difference. Some faucets, some kitchen faucets or bathroom faucets. I mean, the faucet itself is $120. You can pay a handyman to put those things in. You don't have to pay a plumber, as long as you have a decent handyman that knows what they're doing. But it can make a huge difference on how the property looks and how updated it feels between, faucets and light fixtures and paint and some updated, middle of the road flooring. You can make a huge difference on how a property appeals. And it also appeals to that HGTV generation that wants all the pretty stuff but doesn't know how to do it and is kind of intimidated by it and thinks it's a lot more expensive than it is. So those are probably my go-to. And then maybe the bonus one is landscaping. You can do a lot of impact for landscaping for not a lot of money, and it can make a huge impact. But that's more just my bonus. That's probably lower on the list. So anyway, just to recap, light fixtures, painting, including flooring or including drywall repair and touch-up, that's a big thing. So don't paint if you're not willing to fix the texture and the touch-up and that kind of stuff. It makes a big difference. Flooring improvements, cleaning, and then hardware. So anyway, thanks so much for the time. If y'all want more of these types of videos, I'm going to shoot a couple more on things to do that have good ROI, things that don't, all that kind of jazz. But yeah, feel free to leave in the comments down below. I would love to hear what improvements y'all have done that actually returned a great ROI when you either sold your property or did some improvements that maybe you were kind of surprised as far as what the realtor recommended. Feel free to leave that information down below. If you're looking to buy or sell here in the Denver metro area, I would be happy to help. Please feel free to reach out to me directly. Contact information is on my website. Link for that is down as well. And if you're liking my videos, please subscribe to my channel. I would greatly appreciate it. If you need an agent in another area, feel free to reach out to me with some personal contact information. I'd be happy to help there too. So thanks so much for the time and have a great day.